What's up, everybody? It's your boy AC, and welcome back to LA Sports Live. We got a special bright in the morning Saturday edition. You guys see the thumbnail, you see the title. We'll get into the main subject very shortly, but first, let me let me discuss the Lakers. The Lakers had a great victory last night, man. Against the OKC Thunder. Do you guys realize, if I'm not mistaken, the Lakers have won, I think, 6 games? No, like 5 games or 6 games since the All Star break. So, what we saw last night was a very rare occurrence by the Lakers. The Lakers won a damn game. They played against the OKC Thunder. The OKC Thunder, they're resting uh, anybody of note. I believe they played a bunch. They played a bunch of G League players. They played the guys buried at the bottom of the bench. OKC Thunder only played 6 people last night. I'm not for sure how many Lakers played, but since we were eliminated from playoff contention, the Lakers have made the decisions to pretty much set the stars and play all the young players. We called a couple guys up from the G League. We made some roster moves. I'm trying not to say so if I pause is because I'm trying to not say the Lakers made roster moves. We know they decided to go ahead and damn give Winyan Gabriel a 2-year deal. I'm pretty sure it was partially guaranteed. I don't know the specifics of it, but salute to young Gabriel, man. He played hard. He played with heart. Um, Played with a lot of energy. The Lakers acknowledged it. They saw it, and they gave him a contract. And we saw them do that earlier this season with Stanley Johnson. And before that, we saw them fully guarantee and Austin Reeves, because you remember Austin Reeves was an undrafted rookie, and his deal was only partially guaranteed. So the Lakers have rewarded young players for the future. Uh, they acknowledge their contributions and their hard work on the court, and fuck it, I'm gonna just do what I gotta do. And it was a good sign to see, man. It was a good thing to see. Um, the Lakers, they put a whooping on the OKC Thunder. It was kind of close, kind of back and forth. Then the Lakers firmly took over in the fourth quarter. And Stanley Johnson had a good game. THT was coming off the 40-point performance and didn't have a great game. Malik Monk didn't have the best shooting night, but hey, a win is a win. The Lakers haven't been doing too much of that. And it was good to see a good Laker victory last night. Something that we haven't seen in a while. The Lakers, they snapped, what was it, a 7 game or 8 game losing streak, man. So that was a good thing to see, man. It was a good thing to see, and it was good to see all these kids out there running, playing. Now, come on. This is the second last game of the season, so there was a lot of one-on-one action. There was a lot of one-on-one action, but also at the same time, I believe they had 24 assists last night, so there was ball movement. People were going one on one at times, but with 24 assists, that lets you know there was also a lot of ball movement, especially in the second half in the fourth quarter, and when it came down to crunch time, guys were being unselfish. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing that we saw last night. I was happy with that. I was really pleased with that, and I was really pleased we won the game. Now, speaking of Stanley Johnson, if you didn't hear his comments after the game, I'm on my phone, so I can't play them. But if you, when you guys go, when you get a chance, go listen to Stanley Johnson's comments, post game comments. Of course, they're gonna give him media coverage because I believe Stanley was the leading scorer. Stanley spoke the truth. Stanley was 100% truthful. He kept it 100, and he didn't bite his tongue. And believe me, if situations were a little bit different with this team as far as contracts were concerned, and you know, you guys know what I'm saying, man. If Stanley was a more prominent player, if his future with the team was more cemented, he would have went off. He would have went off. But he kept it. He kept it cool. He kept it 100. He kept it professional. But he did kind of give an insight on some things that were going on. He was extremely happy to get the win. He made that quite clear. He's a professional athlete. They don't like losing. He made it quite clear that he did not like nor appreciate some of the stuff that was going on this season about the lack of effort. And Stanley Johnson made it quite clear that there was a tremendous, and we all know this, but there was a tremendous amount of chirping, or he didn't want to say it, but there was a tremendous amount of shit talking by a lot of the Lakers opponents this year's, and kicking the water down, and uh, he just said it was a lot of chirping by a lot of their opponents, and that he didn't like it, and he was going to remember it. But he also stated that, look, as a team, we didn't like it, but if we don't like it, we need to get our asses together, get back in the gym this summer, which he said he was willing to do, play together, get some chemistry, and come back and do something about it next season. And I was, man, man, that made me so happy when I was driving to work and I threw on the video, and I heard Stanley Johnson come in, finally speak the truth. And he's one of the few Laker players. This has been like a terrible Laker season, right? But he's one of the few Laker players that actually came out and seemed like they were mad, pissed off about it. Some of these guys. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into that, man. But it was just good to see Stanley Johnson acting like he cared and that he was pissed off and that he was gonna take a little break. But after that, this summer, he was gonna be ready to get back in the gym after the team decides to do what they're gonna do and make the moves that they're gonna make. If he's still around, he said he's ready to get in the gym and get back to work, and kind of avenge this terrible Lakers season. So, salute to Stanley Johnson, man. I don't know what his future is going to be with the Lakers. He's under contract for next season. Um, one of the few bench role players that are under contract for next season. Like I said, the Lakers gave Wenyen Gabriel a guaranteed contract. So he's under contract. Um, Kendrick Nunn is probably going to pick up his option, so he'll be under contract. THT's under contract. Um, who else? Oh, Austin Reeves, and then and Stanley. So that's it. All these other guys, man. Hasta la vista. All the other guys, I really don't care about if they come back or not. DJ Augustine, I wouldn't mind having him back. It just kind of decide. It depends on what the makeup of the team is going to be. But all these other guys, forget them, and that includes Melo too. Anyway, so that's that. Hopefully, it was a good look yesterday. It was fan appreciation day at crypto, so it was a good thing the Lakers were able to get a victory on fan appreciation day, and we'll have the season finale on tomorrow versus the who is it? The Denver Nuggets, and yeah, we got what's up, salute, humble. We got the season finale coming on tomorrow, and that'll be it. The season will be over, but not really, because once this regular season is over, then we're gonna have the you know is it the off season or whatever, man. And let me tell you something, this Laker off season or whatever, it's gonna be just as crazy. It's gonna be just as crazy as the regular season. Now, let's get to the main topic. Salute to everybody in the chat. Thanks for everybody for coming through. Let's get to this main topic. And you guys know, man. God damn it. You guys know I've been a Laker fan. Salute, Kareem. You guys know I've been a Laker fan for many years, man. Many years. And seen championship teams, seen uh, bad seasons like last season, which is ranks up at the top. We've seen rebuilding seasons with younger players, and You know, we've seen playoff runs and all kinds of stuff. We've seen. I've run the gamut. I've seen it all. But this season was a tremendous head scratcher, and a disappointment. And I really couldn't find an excuse. It's not. It, I couldn't find an excuse for this terrible season. I couldn't find an excuse for the lack of effort. I was looking for an excuse for the lack of chemistry. Um, I was looking for an excuse as to why some of the players are looking at each other the way they look at them while they're on the court and when they're on the bench. I was looking for an excuse as to why Rajon Rondo, who was happy as hell to be back, how I wanted to know why Rajon Rondo got on the first train smoking to get the hell out of here, to go to Cleveland. Who the hell wants to go to Cleveland? I don't give a damn how good that young team is. Who the hell wants to go to Cleveland? Rajon Rondo got on the first train, the first plane, whatever you want to call it. He got on the first plane smoking to Cleveland. He said, "Forget this stuff. I'm out of here." Even DJ, who we wanted, who I never wanted, but he read the writing on the wall and he says, "I'm out this bitch. Get me out of here. I got to go. This team ain't going nowhere." And both of those players made interesting comments in their first media sessions with their respective teams. DJ said something, and Rondo said something very poignant and very specific um, with his first media session with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I knew there was some hidden messages there. I just couldn't quite figure it out, but I was just really trying to figure out why this team struggled so bad, why we had the lack of effort, why LeBron seemed to just kind of say, in some respects, sometimes he just seemed to say, "F it, I'm just going to do me, and I'm just going to score many points as we can. And we win some, we win some, we lose some, we lose some." Well, maybe later we can talk about it, Blue Boat. Maybe we can talk about it. Um, so, like I said, man, I was looking for a reason why we have this terrible season. I suspected, I didn't know, but I suspected there was something going on that in that locker room, and I suspected there was something going on in that locker room of epic proportions. I didn't know for sure, but I suspected. I suspect that it was something going around revolving Russell Westbrook. That's what I thought because I saw how Anthony Davis was looking at Russell Westbrook, man. Uh, I seen how Melo was looking at Russell Westbrook. You know, Russ and Rondo had this beef before they both ended up on the same team. They claimed they squashed it. That shit wasn't squashed. I saw how Rondo was looking. Um, I saw how Rondo and Russ looked on the floor together. It was just something was wrong. God damn, I'm pissed off and I might start yelling. Yeah, you got to go back and look at the. It was real subtle, Kareem, but they both took slights at the Lakers, and I think they were both specifically Rondo was taking shots at Russell Westbrook. But I didn't know for sure, but I just suspected there was something going on in the locker room. You combine that with all the little subtle shots that Russell Westbrook was saying, all the little things that he was saying in his media sessions, how he was going back and forth and getting testy with the media. How Russell Westbrook on many occasions would say, "I don't know what my role is. They asking me to do something different every night." That's a direct shot at the goddamn coaching staff. How Russell Westbrook, look, you guys remember one time the media asked Russell, they asked him a question that said something along the lines, look, Russ, why did this happen? Whatever. You're the point guard. This is your, the turnovers, blah, blah, blah. And Russell interrupted him and say, like, am I? Am I the point guard? And he kind of shook his head. He was like, okay, go on. So I was like, if he's questioning and saying that either he is or he's not the point guard, he's talking shit about LeBron. than LeBron handling the ball. Yeah, man. This season, come to find out, this season was doomed from this season was doomed from the beginning. This season was doomed from the beginning. And here's the goddamn proof. It pissed me off when I saw this shit yesterday. The LA Times, they on it. They on this stuff. They interviewed about 20 people in the Lakers organization. They interviewed other players and other coaches around the league. And this is what they came up. And this, I don't know if you guys heard this, but this came from somebody directly tied with the Lakers. Of course, they acted under anonymity. They didn't want to be quoted directly. But this comment came out in the LA Times and fucking pissed me off, man. And I'm cussing. I'm pissed off. I'm probably going to lose my goddamn monetization, but I don't care. Let me read this to you guys. I'm on my phone. I can't show it. I didn't preload it or nothing. But let me let me just do my thing, man. Anyhow, um, let me read these comments that came from somebody in the Lakers organization, and you guys tell me what you think about it. Problems arose for the Lakers behind closed doors during training camp. During training camp, with team staff members seeing their worst fears realized before the team played a single game. This shit started in training camp. Russell Westbrook never respected head coach Frank Vogel from day one, said one person with knowledge of the situation. The moment, hey guys, salute to everybody in the chat, but let's stay on topic. Y'all want to talk about other stuff? We can talk about it later. But hey guys, let's stay on topic. Anyway, Russ never respected Frank Vogel from day one, said one person with knowledge of the situation. The moment Frank said anyone who gets the rebound can bring it up the court, which is just how the NBA is played these days. Russ was like, "Nah, I'm the point guard. Give me the ball. Give the ball to me. Everybody run." Frank was like, "No, we have THT, we have Austin Reeves, we have Malik Monk, we have LeBron, we have AD. They all can bring the ball up." Russ was like, "No, I'm the point guard. Give me that shit. Everybody else get out the way." I repeat, Russ never respected head coach Frank Vogel from day one, said one person with knowledge of the situation. The moment Frank said anybody who gets the rebound can bring the ball up the court was just, thank you. I appreciate that. The moment Frank said anybody who gets the rebound can bring it up the court was just as how was is just as how the NBA is played these days. Russ was like, "Nah, I'm the point guard. Give the ball to me. Everybody run." Frank was like, "No, we have THT, we have Austin Reeves, we have Malik, we have LeBron, we have AD. They can bring the ball up too." Russ was like, "Nah, I'm the point guard. Give me that shit. Get out of the way." What does that tell you? What does that tell you about Russell Westbrook's mindset from the giddy up? Now, if you've been paying attention to his media sessions all season, you know that he didn't give a shit about. He didn't respect his coaching staff, and he didn't like Frank Vogel. I mean, if you guys ain't figured that out, I figured that shit out very easy, very early. That he wasn't feeling Frank Vogel, and you know, I wasn't happy about it. I wasn't happy about reading this. I wasn't really happy about it at all, and it pissed me off. It kind of confirmed what I was thinking all the time, that Russ was being a dickhead. He wasn't getting with the program. He's coming to a team, that still had, was 18 months removed from a championship, and you know he wasn't getting with the program. He wasn't buying in. And look, you guys don't want to talk about Russ. You or you don't want to listen to me talk about Russ. The the link is in the chat. You want to talk about something else? Come on in, hit the chat, then maybe we can talk about it. But right now, I want to talk about this dumbass Russell Westbrook that pissed me off. Anyway, Russell Westbrook destroyed the season for the LA Lakers, man. His attitude, his mindset, he refused to buy in. If you go further in the article, it talks about how several veteran players tried to approach Westbrook, even LeBron, Anthony Davis, uh, Carmelo Anthony. They tried to approach Russ to get him on board, to get him, get him focused, and all those approaches were rebuffed. Russ is stuck in his ways. He's an asshole, and I want him away from my damn team. I want him away from my damn team. I'm against them waiving him and stretching his contract. I think that would have hurt us badly, but outside of that, I'll take shitty players. I'll take whoever. I just need Russell Westbrook away from my damn team. Period. I'm sick of it. There's no way in where there's no way in the world that this team can run it back with AD, LeBron, and Russ. It's just there's no way we can do that. It can't be done. It shouldn't be done. Russ has to go. Now, you guys remember hearing those rumors around the trade deadline. And Kareem, I don't know if you're still there, but I don't know if you remember hearing a rumor that the Lakers coaching staff was pushing for a Russ trade. Anybody remember that? There was a rumor or there was a report that came out that even the Lakers coaching staff was pushing behind the scenes for a Russ trade. Why the fuck would they do that? And why the fuck would somebody even leak that story? You know, you guys got to remember, man, everybody, this is a shitty season. So everybody's putting stories out, true or false. LeBron's putting stories out, true or false. The Lakers are putting stories out, true or false. Even Frank Vogel, which he knew he was going to end up being the sacrificial lamb for this season to save his face, he's putting fake stories out. Some true stories, but I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, but I just found that very odd that a story came out that the Lakers coaching staff was pushing for a Russ trade. Why would they do that? Well, this is the reason why. They got an asshole, a malcontent on their bench, in their starting lineup, doesn't want to get with the program, doesn't want to be a team player. This is why the coaches want his ass out of there. This is why Melo's giving him a side eye. This is why AD's giving him a side eye. This is why Rondo got the fuck out of here as soon as he could. Because they saw the writing on the wall. They knew how things were going to end up. They also knew that Russ was not going to change, and there was not going to be a good. It wasn't going to be a good season for the Lakers, in which it turned out to be one of the worst in my opinion, one of the worst seasons, strictly because this team had a lot of expectations, man. That we had worse teams, for sure. We had worse teams, worse seasons, but this team had a lot of expectations, rightfully or maybe unrightfully so. But as of late, over the last 10 years or whatever, I would say probably this was the most disappointing season, strictly because this team had a lot of expectations. I don't know how you guys feel about this situation with Russ. You guys want him back. Um, I just don't see him changing, right? I don't really see him changing, and he's talking about running it back. I we just got to get rid of this dude, man. We got to get rid of this dude, and there's got to be some truth to these statements that were made, because if the Lakers were actually considering trading Russell Westbrook for a guy, excuse me, who's only played like 40 games in the last 3 years or whatever, for the Lakers to be actually really considering that, some of this stuff, it's got to be partially true. Maybe not 100%. I don't know. I tend to believe quite a bit of it. I don't know if it's all true, but it's just, look. All these people don't have to say nothing, right? All these little anonymous statements or whatever, they don't have to say nothing, because a a person, if you listen, a person or persons will tell you everything that you want to know. All you got to do is listen to them. All you got to do is listen to him. All you got to do is listen to everything that Russell Westbrook said. I analyzed and I listened very carefully to Russell Westbrook's press conferences, to his all his media sessions, where he's real testy with the media, talking shit about the coaching staff. And you guys remember when they asked Russell Westbrook, "Hey, do you talk to Russ?" I mean, they asked Westbrook, "Do you talk to LeBron? Do you talk to LeBron? A lot off the court?" He said, "Yeah, I talk to LeBron every day, not about basketball." What the fuck? You on the fucking team with the guy? You just starting lineup with the guy. The guy's responsible for bringing you here, but you don't want to listen to nothing he has to say about basketball, as if you've accomplished everything and you don't have nothing to learn, as if you can't learn nothing from LeBron James. You an asshole, man. You an asshole. You pissed me off. You wasted another year of LeBron James. Like like we have a lot of credit in that. Like that nigga could play forever, which he can't. You came here. You were selfish as hell. Wasted a year of LeBron James, and you want another one? Get the hell out of here, man. Get the hell out of here. It lets you know how bad it is if the Lakers are actually considering stretching his ass after we just got finished. After how we were handicapped with stretch whatever the shit was, $5 or $6 million, we were handicapped, and you're thinking about stretching Russell Westbrook, and that number that has to be stretched is double. You know it's got to be a serious damn problem. You know it's got to be a serious damn problem. And if we're hearing about situations like this in the season ain't over with yet. We still got one more game. We still got one more game. Um, what's up, humble?
Hey, what's going on, AC man? Good morning to you, man.
Good morning, bro. We got one more game left in the season, man, and then the misery is over. What you think about it?
Thank God, man. Thank God. It's just this is like one of those seasons where it's like a nightmare, and it's been a long nightmare, and you kind of wait. You just can't wait for it, till it's over, and then you know I don't know. I'm just pretty much ready for the off season. Um, I don't know about you or whatever, or anybody in the
Yeah,
comments or Laker Nation, but it's just man. I don't know. I mean, they played a great game last night. I guess that but as Laker Nation, what I'm saying, we expect championships.
right.
It's not about just to be a pity party. It's about excellence. The Lakers standing for just winning. And I understand, like, this is not how the season started, but these guys need to be held accountable. Not just Russ, but LeBron and AD. Like, um, but you already know, Frank Vogel's going to be the fall guy, the scapegoat, through it all. But
Yeah,
Westbrook is mainly the guy that needs to be the first one out of there. You know, this offseason. I mean, you're paying a guy $47 million, um, just to jack up shots and brick them and you know average over like almost 10 turnovers. A game. It's pretty bad. I mean, he's gotten better throughout the season. I would say at the end of the season, but
right, right,
I mean, it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard that story before that oh, you got to give Westbrook some time. I mean, like, yeah, but come on, man, you be playing for the Lakers, man. It's not the Eastern Conference. Where you're playing with the Wizards.
right.
So you got to get your act together. You got to, get it going and stuff. At the end of the day, etc. That I do think Palinka needs to get a little blame as well too. He has to be held accountable because we could have went out and got some wing guys. That $22 million should have went towards some wing players, man. Smarter trade. Let LeBron play the point guard or point forward or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
that that right there, you hit that's an interesting statement right there because the Lakers spent the last two seasons trying to find somebody to pull LeBron
mhm,
off the point to quote
mhm.
unquote get him more rest. That in retrospect, that's not a good move because that's him with the on him at the point forward, whatever you want to call it. That's what won you a championship with AD. But they were so worried about his age, about getting him rest and bringing somebody else in, they forget that it's like all throughout LeBron's career, you've never really seen him operate well with an established point guard. I mean, you've never really seen him operate well with a traditional point guard. So I don't understand why they felt the need to blow the team up twice, two seasons in a row, two off seasons in a row, bringing in another point guard when you just won the championship with LeBron at the point. That's to me that was one of the severe miscalculations by Palinka. I mean, I don't think LeBron was campaigning to bring in another point guard. He maybe went along with it, but
Mhm.
if you look at it from last year, they brought in Schroeder, that didn't work. You look at it with this season, they brought in Russ, that didn't work. It's like look at all the shit that you did. LeBron's still going strong. You were too worried about trying to bring in somebody to help him, which was just turned out to be the wrong move. Turned out to be the wrong move, man.
Right. That's
But
right, man. Like, I trust LeBron playing point guard. Then I trust, Russell Westbrook. Even though Westbrook is, I would say he's a point guard, but he's not a traditional point guard.
right,
Far as size, I would say he's a traditional point guard. Instead of like LeBron. But I think with LeBron James playing point guard, I truly believe that it can increase his longevity. Like, we also seen it when he won the championship playing point guard. Got those guys going far as orchestrating the offense and being a floor general and directing traffic with Danny Green, KCP, and with him AD, what they capable of, man. That's man,
right.
those guys 1-2 punch. JaVale McGee, Avery Bradley, like throughout that 2019-2020 season. And I hate to bring up the past, but those
Hmm.
guys, man, like the way everything was just operated like through LeBron, orchestrating the offense and just facilitating it. It did wonders for the offense because they mainly played really great defense, which opened up the offense. They didn't really have like a system in play because they ran like a 5 out. I would say Frank Vogel's not like a offensive minded coach. I would say
Right.
so. That he coached more so of the defense, and it's just open up everything and let LeBron just and have Jason Kidd you know, draw up some plays here and there. But everything was just
Hmm.
ran through LeBron, Jason Kidd through that offensive side. Everything on the defensive side was Frank Vogel, just a team together as a team defense. Man, those guys, they went, I think they was like what, 57-0. leading in the third quarter.
Yeah,
Like,
man. It's when you talk about stats like that from the 2020 season, man, we're so far removed from that.
mm-hmm,
But like, I think a lot of us have forgotten how dominant that team was, man. That was a dominant team, man. And people talk stuff about the bubble and this and that and this and that. It count, it don't count, whatever, man. That team was going to. They're like, you can't say for sure what would have happened, but that team was one of the best teams, and they had just as good a shot to win it that year, bubble or no bubble. So I really don't get the criticism of the bubble title or whatever, man. But back to Frank Vogel, he did a lot of stuff this season, right, bro? That kind of frustrated me with the rotations or whatever, and the 2 million different start lineups. But I kind of get a feeling that the Lakers are going to keep him around. Now, obviously, he can't be the coach, but maybe they might keep him around in the organization because, dude, what happened to the Lakers this season, man? It really wasn't his fault, in my opinion. It really wasn't his fault because if you look at the Lakers, they spent all that money to pay Jason Kidd to get him in here to help this dude. Then they spent even more, not more money, but they spent more money to bring Fizdale in here to help Frank Vogel. So they knew what kind of coach they had. They knew they had a defensive coach, but they go and trade all his damn defense away.
mm-hmm.
So
Right,
that just didn't really make no sense. And he's left to scramble, and they give him a
right,
bunch of guys who really don't want to play defense. So I mean,
right. And it's when we look at the roster that we have, like it's really like a really old roster. Like, you know, I don't think that Frank Vogel deserves to be fired. Me personally,
right,
on paper, that I mean the roster is kind of like a dumpster fire. Like, you know, they're just those guys they just old and stuck in their ways. But then you got the young guys out there that's flourishing like a Reeves and THT. But those guys not really going to get really much burn. Because they want to pretty much cater to the older guys and stuff like that. And I think Vogel was just trying to he was just working what he had, and
right,
I
right.
think if they want to fire him, I think it's best for they to part ways. I think he's gone. Me personally,
Yeah,
I think he's out of there.
yeah. I think
They go.
he won't be coaching next year. That's for damn sure with the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, who would you like to see, man? I think I put a poll up last week. It looks like people want Mark
Oh
Jackson.
yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I
What,
seen the
what,
poll.
who would you like to see coach the Lakers?
Uh, I say they between Mark Jackson or Quinn Snyder. Um, but me personally, I don't think I see Mark Jackson coming back as a coach.
Hmm.
He probably want like a front office role, if anything. Um, but I mean, he would love to coach, but I just think him doing commentating, with Jeff Van Gundy and Mike Breen, that's probably what something he would do because I know he's a pastor and everything else, as far as outside of basketball, for his beliefs and stuff. But if not Mark Jackson, I'd probably go and get Quinn Snyder because I know he's a somebody that was under the Lakers,
Right,
before that with Mike Brown.
right.
He's familiar with the Laker brand and familiar with the Lakers franchise. So it it'd be interesting to bring him back. But seeing how he's how well he's done with Utah, but they have always come up short every year with the um the Utah Jazz in the playoffs.
Hmm.
We don't really know. I mean, I think he can coach a LeBron AD.
Hmm.
I think it'd be interesting. So I would say bring Quinn Snyder in just to see. I give him like a 3-year, 4-year deal, kind of how they gave Vogel. But we don't know if he wants to leave. Utah or Utah wants to part ways with him. We have to see. But that's the two guys I want is Mark Jackson or um, Quinn Snyder. I if Phil Jackson wasn't you know, old, I would say I would want Phil Jackson, but I think everybody at Laker Nation would want Phil Jackson back. But Quinn
Yeah,
Snyder's I'm going with Quinn Snyder.
yeah, it's kind of tough um, to kind of call it and to predict what's going to happen, man, because this was such a crazy season for the Lakers, and it's just been so much negative talk around them. So now you have to be a little bit concerned about on the optics or aesthetics of the Lakers coaching job, because now all of a sudden it may not be so appealing
Mm-hmm.
as it probably was before. I mean, 2 years ago, people will say, "Yeah, man, I want to coach AD and LeBron." Hell yeah, whatever. But now, after
Yeah.
after the shit show we watched this year's, and depending on what they do with Russ or they don't do with Russ, let's just say if they keep Russ, and then if they decide, look, and they say we're going to keep Russ, you know, that might turn some people away and be like, "Look, I'm not doing that. I'm cool." It would take a
Mm-hmm.
special kind of coach, bro, to come in and try to coach LeBron, AD, and Russ after the season
Right.
that they had last season, bro. I mean, and then they know the previous coach was a fall guy. There's not going to be a lot of people signing up for that, bro. Just not a lot of people of quality. Just put it that way.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I would kind of like scare, some coaches away or anybody that wants to come in and try to, implement something, and seeing how, I mean, you just got to report that, Westbrook, was him and Frank Vogel kind of, bumped heads and,
Hmm.
that's not a good look, man, and I think Vogel from the get go, if you look at the body language, I don't know if, he kind of like a guy that like, observing and stuff like that.
Uh huh.
But just from the looks of it, like I could just tell like throughout the season when they even benched Russell in the fourth quarter, I was like, this don't look right, man. I think Vogel don't, he don't really care for Russ, and
Right.
Russ don't really care for him because Russ can't do what he want to do, and then Vogel like, he can't, have a say so because Russ is doing something, the total opposite. Like it's just kind of like, man,
To be honest with you, bro, I think if if Vogel had better options, I think he really wanted to put Russ on the bench to begin with, bro. But
I
just
agree.
maybe he was told he couldn't, or maybe he was just worried about the optics of the whole situation. But I really do believe he was like, look, I just need this nigga out of my starting lineup. But you know, but Russ being Russ, him getting paid the kind of money he's getting paid, they were probably just like, nah, bro, you can't bench him, man. That probably caused more problems than what was already going on. So,
Hmm.
yeah, man, I don't know, man. I mean, you can blame who you want to blame. You want to blame Palinka for bringing Russ, or blaming LeBron for bringing Russ. I don't know. I just I kind of find it hard to believe how LeBron could just miscalculate on this so badly. I mean, I don't know. We heard about the meetings with Russ, LeBron, and AD before the season started. And I'm like, what, what happened at those meetings to let you believe that Russ was gonna, you know, like be on the same team, be sacrifice or what? I don't understand how LeBron. I got a lot of respect for LeBron. I'm a Laker fan, man. I have a lot of
Hmm.
respect for LeBron, and he's not a dummy. But I'm just like, how did you get talked into, or what was your thinking? In other words, what was your thinking behind bringing Russ here? I don't understand it.
I didn't like it from the get go. I thought it was. I said, man, you know, like you said, you got profound respect for LeBron. I do as well. I think, me personally, I was thinking, and I told like, go Mike and those guys back in the offseason. I said I didn't really like this, the trade, but I was thinking, what if, because I mean, it was a report that came out that, when him and AD and LeBron, they all sat down and they, and when they were recruiting, they said, I think they talked like 2 weeks before the trade went down. They were going to
Right,
put their pride and ego to the side, and they was going to, going to be some changes within the positions. AD was going to play at the 5, and LeBron was going to play at the 4 position. Um, I was thinking like, well, maybe this can work. Maybe LeBron, He's not going to play much. Obviously not playing point guard or point forward anymore.
Hmm.
So it's just going to be more of Russell running the show. And I thought we were just going to be a run and gun team.
Exactly.
And I was like, man, this might be fun. I'm leaning towards being saying optimistic about the move and stuff. But then I was like, man, like I was kind of leaning towards like I don't know how I feel. It was kind of like 50-50 for me.
Right.
But I really wasn't really feeling the move from the get go. And I said, I think if we looking to get a point guard, I think we should probably head into like a direction of getting some younger pieces like Alonzo Ball coming back. And a lot of guys like I don't know, and then some guys was like, yeah, I think that'd be a good. I was like, look, Alonzo, he's young. He got a lot to prove. I'm pretty sure he would let it come back to LA, and I'm sure his daddy will let it come for him to come back to LA. You know how LeVar Ball is, um,
Yeah,
but
it's
that
nothing like
Westbrook,
playing at nothing like playing at home, bro.
right? Ain't no like playing at home because the three guys on the radar that I had was DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, and
Hmm.
who else I had? I can't think of the guy. I think Buddy Hill was Buddy Hill. Those are three guys I wanted to come to the Lakers. Well, I wanted Alonzo to come back mainly, and then DeRozan was my second option, and Buddy Hill was my third option.
Right.
And the Westbrook deal just came out of nowhere. I was like, whoa, like because I started seeing reports of it on like Lakers Nation channel,
Hmm.
and other channels and stuff like that, and just seeing reports, and I'm like Westbrook with LeBron. I said both these guys, their game's kind of similar, so I don't know if how that's going to
Yeah.
work, or maybe they just want to, but
Yeah. It.
yeah, you see,
I
man,
kind of feel like the way you do, bro. I wasn't feeling it at the beginning, but that's the
yeah,
direction my team decided to go in. So I'm
yeah,
a
you got to support it,
roll with it.
right?
But you know, it just didn't work out, man. It just didn't work out. So now, um, I'm just like this. We got to get rid of him. We got to get rid of Russ at all costs. You know,
Immediately,
yeah. It's just a failed experiment. And when you have failed experiments, you just gotta axe that shit, move on as soon as possible. That's the way I feel.
yeah, yeah. And it sucks, man. Because you know, even though how last year turned out for us, with a shortened season, we still was like the top team on defensive rating, and I think that if if injuries didn't play a part in it, we probably would have went further in the playoffs. I think we probably would have went to Game 7 against the Suns. We probably would have beat them. I still think that, but
Oh man, come on, no doubt, no
mhm,
doubt. No, I mean that's the past, so we can't live in the past. But it's like we
right,
thought we saw what was going on in that series, so the Suns could say whatever the fuck they want to say, but
yeah,
but we know what was going to happen.
hmm,
2 years in a row where there
2
was
years in a row.
2 years in a row where there was a case. I mean, we won the title in 2020.
Hmm.
Palinka should allow that team to defend its title. Okay, he decided to change it up. Then we get another team in 2021, and like you say, we're ravaged by injuries. We add some new pieces, but we make it to the playoffs, and shit happen or whatever. But it's like that team showed promise. They just needed more time together, and you can make a case for running that team back. And I'm talking about Schroeder, Drummond, all of them. But he
Hmm.
decides to blow that up again too. So and
Right.
then this year, it looks like we're headed for another blow up because now we got to
Yep.
blow it up.
And yep, we're looking at another roster change, another year, another roster
Yeah.
change. From the LeBron, he's staying here with the Lakers. First year roster change, second year roster change, third year roster change, fourth year roster change. Now we're going to another roster change. Like,
Mhm.
oh man, I
Yeah,
I try not to stress about the season because I didn't. It's crazy. I didn't even watch the game last night. I haven't watched the game since last Sunday, so
yeah.
I watched that game.
You After so many, we saw a lot of losing this year, bro. So I
A
had to,
lot.
I had to pull back, bro, because I was like, This shit is just bothering me, man. I can't. You know, that's one thing. We got a lot of people watching the Lakers now. We got a lot of people interested in the Lakers, and they're not all Laker fans. You know what I mean? You got LeBron followers and all that kind of stuff. So they view things a little bit
Mm-hmm.
differently than Laker fans, and they'll never really understand how Laker fans feel and why they feel the way they feel and what we expect. But this season was just crazy, man. It was just a whole lot of losing, and then the blame game started pretty early, and it's going to continue until Monday when it's all over with, and then we'll have the exit interviews, and then we'll hear some more rumors come out, you know, and and then all this shit's just gonna kick off again. So
Yeah.
everybody get the drinks and popcorn ready because if you thought it was drama this season, it's gonna get pretty crazy in the off season, bro. It's gonna get pretty
Oh yeah,
crazy.
it's gonna be pretty interesting. I say the least, man. I'm ready for it. Like you said, man, get your popcorn ready, get your drinks ready, man. It's gonna be a show, man. I would say.
Yeah. But that's just the way it is with the Lakers, bro. I mean, it's
Hmm.
just a lot of these guys don't want to admit, but they're the most popular team in the NBA. Uh, they're the most popular team. They get the most media coverage, and the
Hmm.
reason why they get the most media coverage is because they get ratings.
Right.
And so the Lakers have beat the Lakers and LeBron have whooped a lot of people's ass, whooped a lot of teams' ass, a lot of players' ass. So there's always going to be a lot of animosity, man. So that just
Hmm.
comes with the territory, man. But hey, humble, thanks for coming through, bro. I'm gonna end the stream. I gotta get back to work.
Oh, no problem, AC, man. I
But I
appreciate you for
appreciate
having me,
you coming
man.
through, man. And if you ever come to LA, bro, hit me up. Hit me up on IG, and maybe we can
No
hook up,
doubt, man.
drinks or whatever.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I talked to Reg, a couple months ago about it, man. I'm looking forward to going out there in the summer. Hopefully, if things don't come up, but and I appreciate you, man. AC, man. It's a good show, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for saluting me. I mean, thanks for salute. Thanks for supporting the stream, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, I got to end the stream now. Thanks again, humble. Thanks to everybody in the chat. And I'll wrap with you guys later. Thanks, humble.
All right, no problem, AC, man. Peace, bro.